Hi everyone, Dr. Emmy from Pain Free and Fit. Today, a great self-mobilization or self-myofascial release technique that you can use for your facet syndrome if your facet syndrome is associated with tight paraspinal muscles. Those are the muscles on the side of your spine, such as the erector spinae and the multifidus, that many times tighten after a capsular sprain. Remember, there's different types of facet problems and different types of facet syndromes. This is where the ligament capsule around the facet has actually sprained or torn. You wouldn't do this in the first several weeks, but after several weeks, once the inflammation goes down and there's tight muscles still around that area and you're having problems, this is a great myofascial release technique to address chronic problems of muscle tightness around that facet joint. Hope you enjoy. This mobilization begins by lying face down with the hips towards the end of a bench or bed and bending the knees so that the pelvis tilts under, tailbone under, flattening the curve of the back. This is accentuated with either your own finger or a friend's finger located approximately 1 inch to the side of the spine. In this example, we're demonstrating the technique on the left facet at L4-5, the most common area of facet syndrome. The L4-5 vertebra can be ascertained by feeling the top of the pelvis and then coming straight across to the L5 area. The thumb has a pressure moving downwards and especially up towards the head and maintains that pressure in the tight muscular area. The knees are dropped down so the tail tucks under as the thumb glides through the tight tissue. The overall motion may only be perhaps an inch. Once the slide is completed through the tight tissue, the tail can be raised by straightening the knees and then performed for another repetition. The idea is the thumb is trying to feel a tight muscular resistance and it slowly glides through, loosening that resistance. The stretch can be accentuated by moving the feet away from the side involved and having the pubic bone turned away from the side involved also. In this case, since we're stretching the left facet, we are turning the hips to the right as we glide through that area. Demonstrated by the person themselves, this technique is done by simply holding the hand with one's own thumb in that position as the knees drop and move away. Sometimes using cream against the skin makes sliding easier, but remember, the key to this technique is using your thumb to slowly move through tight tissue, feeling it literally melt or loosen during the glide. Slower is better as the inch motion is made. In the standing position, this can also be done by using the same contact, an inch to the side of the spine with your thumb. And as you tuck your tail under and left hip down in this example with pubic bone to the right, the thumb is sliding through the tight muscle upwards approximately 1 inch. After the slide is completed, body is repositioned to neutral and is repeated again for multiple times. 5 to 6 reps can be done. So with your doctor's permission, plug in this lumbar facet syndrome treatment by using this self-myofascial release technique at home and let me know how you make out. Questions or comments, write in. As always, I'll do my best to answer. Give me a thumbs up to help share this valuable information with others. And remember, if you're looking for a great way to self-rehab your own lower back facet syndrome, check out our Fast Track program for facet syndrome available at painfreeandfit.com. It has a full body analysis so you can figure out what your muscle imbalances are, what your posture and movement tendencies are that may affect your low back pain, and how to correct your lumbar facet syndrome through a systemized step-by-step exercise program that brings you into healing and back into physical activities. I hope this presentation on lumbar facet syndrome treatment using self-myofascial release techniques helps you with your chronic low back pain.